Spice can feel like pain on purpose, yet humans choose it across climates and centuries. It begins with capsaicin, a plant compound that triggers heat sensations in our nerves.
The sensation is real signaling. Your body reads a chemical cue as noxious heat.
Capsaicin activates the same nerve channel that helps us detect dangerous heat.
In many chilies, the strongest heat concentrates in the inner membranes and pith. Capsaicin is oily and persistent, it clings. Fat and proteins in milk can reduce the burn by binding and dispersing capsaicin.
Salt, acid, and fat don't erase heat. They change how it's perceived beside flavour. Acid can sharpen aroma and taste, even when the burn remains. Long before written recipes, spice levels were learned by trial, memory, and sensation. So why learn to enjoy something that starts as discomfort? One reason is simple. Spice can make repetitive foods feel distinct and memorable.
It adds contrast, heat against softness, sharpness against starch.
A small amount can transform familiar ingredients into something new.
When choice is limited, flavor variety can matter as much as ingredient variety.
Spicy cuisines are often especially prominent in warmer regions. Heat speeds spoilage, and historically that made food safety harder in hot climates. Anything that reduced microbial risk or made borderline food more tolerable could be valued.
Many spices contain compounds shown to inhibit microbes in laboratory studies.
Salt and drying did much of preservation, but spices may have added another layer.
Cooking kills many microbes. Strong seasonings can also influence microbial growth in some contexts.
Pickling with chili adds acidity and thyme, two well-known preservation factors. Spice travels well, dried, lightweight, and potent over long distances. That portability helped spices become high-value trade goods in many periods. On long routes, a small pouch could carry a lot of flavour. Many cuisines used pepper first, then a New World plant spread fast, the chili.
Chilies are native to the Americas, domesticated there long before global contact.
After contact, chilies moved into Europe, Africa, and Asia within decades to centuries. They fit existing food logic: dry them, grind them, store them.
Easy cultivation helped chilies spread beyond elites into everyday cooking.
Spice wasn't only imported, it was planted, shared, and adapted locally.
People selected and bred chilies for different flavours and different heat.
A tiny amount can season a large pot. Heat is an efficient ingredient.
Capsaicin-rich oils can carry aroma and flavor across a dish. Chilies didn't replace older spices, they often joined them.
Blends became regional signatures, patterns of spice you can taste.
In some traditions, heat arrives at the end, added fresh, like a final decision.
In others, it's built in early, heat as structure, not garnish. Smoking and drying change chilies again, adding sweetness and depth. Then there's physiology, what spice does to the body.
Capsaicin activates TRPV1, a key channel involved in sensing noxious heat and pain. That activation can trigger sweating and flushing, common responses to perceived heat.
In hot environments, sweating can support cooling, though it's not guaranteed to feel pleasant. Some people report a pleasant after effect, often explained as learning and reward after a brief stress.
The key is control. The burn is intense, but usually brief and self-chosen. With repeated exposure, perceived intensity can drop. People often describe building tolerance. Small doses teach the mouth and the brain that this signal isn't truly dangerous. Then heat becomes cultural. What you grow up with shapes what feels normal.
The same dish can read as home or foreign, with one change in spice. And spicy isn't one thing, it's many flavours riding on different sensations.
Some spices don't burn, they tingle or numb. Different chemistry, different nerves.
Mustard can hit the nose and eyes more than the tongue.
Horseradish does something similar, sharp, volatile, and fleeting.
Together, these sensations create complexity, flavor that changes across a meal.
Spice also creates anticipation. You can see it, smell it, and expect the heat.
Colour and aroma can prime the senses before the burn arrives.
Heat offers fine control. Add a little, add a lot. Tailor it to the moment. In shared meals, that matters. One pot, many tolerances.
So heat can stay optional while still defining the table.
Over generations, preference becomes tradition, repeated until it feels inevitable. Fermented chili sauces add another dimension, time and acidity reshaping flavor, while capsaicin largely remains. Fermentation can deepen savory notes and soften harsh edges, even when the heat stays present. In many kitchens, spice becomes routine, part preservation habit, part daily pleasure, part identity.
It can also help humble foods feel complete, more satisfying without adding more ingredients.
Spice can mask staleness in flavor, useful historically, but never a reliable test of safety.
Over time, pots and tools can hold onto spice oils. Kitchens carry flavor memory. Fresh chilies often taste brighter. Dried chilies often taste deeper, rounder, sometimes smokier.
Roasting transforms the chili again, driving off sharp notes and implying sweetness through smoke and char.
Crushing releases aroma first, then the heat arrives a moment later, catching up. That delay can feel like suspense. Flavor first, consequence second.
Many cuisines balance heat with cooling elements. Fat and protein can help reduce the burn.
Sweetness doesn't remove capsaicin, but it can change how the heat is perceived in the mouth. Crunch, salt, and spice. Simple sensory levers that keep hands reaching back.
In cold weather, spice can feel warming because it activates pathways used to sense heat.
Across climates, spice becomes portable intensity, heat you can carry, trade, and share.
As chilies spread globally, they reshaped cuisines with remarkable speed.
Ultimately, spice offers agency. You decide how much sensation you want. A self-chosen challenge, measured in seconds and sips. Plants evolved spice as deterrent. Humans, in many places, turned it into a reason to gather. Because sometimes the strongest flavour is the one you actively choose, one deliberate sting at a time.